Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 2497. Be prepared to be inspired.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, and welcome to Cars Yeah. Today I'm in San Francisco, California, with a very special guest by the name of Chanterria McGilbra. Chanterria, welcome to Cars Yeah. Do you have any gear, and are you ready to release the clutch?
I am ready to release the clutch and get racing. Let's go.
Absolutely, and you have quite the vehicle for that. And we're going to talk about that vehicle and how it, in one way, brought us together with what you're doing today. But before I give you a more proper introduction here, what's one little thing that maybe people don't know about you?
Well, most people don't know, and I think they should know, that I actually was born with an identical twin sister.
Oh, wow. Wow. Two of you.
Yeah.
Well, that's impressive.
Yes.
Now, I've known some twins in my life. And I remember in high school, we had a couple twin families, boys and girls, junior high and high school growing up. But what was one of the most unique things for you two about being twins?
Well, I suppose I guess it's unique, but maybe not to other twins. But to most people, we were able to switch classes, and I took a few tests for my twin sister.
Very cool.
We've also gone out on dates for each other. So
oh my gosh,
really fun too.
That would freak somebody out. Yeah. Well, are you identical twins then?
We are identical.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That would be freaky. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Well, you always hear about some of these fun things with twins, and I always find it interesting. It must be the bond that you have, that you share from the moment you're conceived and in the womb together and then growing up together, must be rather intense, I would guess.
It is. It can be very intense. And as you become adults and sort of create your own lives separate from each other, the intensity lessens, but you're always very connected to, well, I'm always very connected to my twin sister. I mean, she's the person I was born with. She knows me the best. And, we have a great time together. We kind of speak a language that,
yeah, that only
we know. Yeah.
I saw a story about two twin women who married twin husbands. They both married twins. So when you look at them, it looks like, the mirror image. And then each of them had twin children.
Oh, my goodness.
Crazy, right? I mean, oh my
gosh.
What are the odds? What are the odds? So very cool.
So they're twin. Yeah. Their twin cousins are technically siblings.
Well, there you go. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. Well, the world takes us in different places. And today we're going to go in the car route, of course, because we are here at Cars Yeah. So let me give you a more formal introduction here. Chanterria McGilbra is the executive director of the Prancing Ponies Foundation, whose mission is creating women leaders one girl at a time. This premier women's car show was established back in 2017 and is the only show that exclusively focuses on women and their automobiles. The show is a fundraiser to fund opportunities for low-income women to attend leadership conferences to advance their careers and better their families' lives. The women's car show theme is Rhinestone Cowgirls. That's cool. And will honor women in the automotive world. This premier experience takes place during Car Week, Pebble Beach Car Week, with the Prancing Ponies Mixer on Wednesday, August 14th at Carmel Plaza, and the car show on Thursday, August 15th on Ocean Avenue in Carmel by the Sea. Chanterria is also on the selection committee for the Limitless Scholarship Fund run by past Cars Yeah guest Genevieve Armendariz. We'll be back in just a moment, but first a word from our sponsors, so give them a little love. Buckle up, about to go on a fun ride, and we'll be right back. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? Then let me introduce you to Capitalize Your Finances. It's an online course designed to empower you with the knowledge and tools for mastering your money. This course will help you lay out the ins and outs of budgeting, the importance of emergency funds, investing strategies, and how to plan for a secure retirement. All this presented by financial planner Chris Paniotu. Chris has developed this course to help you effectively navigate your world of finance with confidence. Stop stressing about money and start taking control. Enroll in Capitalize Your Finance online course today and pave your way to financial success. To learn more, go to capitalizepodcast.com/courses, or better yet, go to the Cars Yeah website, show notes page for today's show, and click on the link under Capitalize Your Finances. You'll be glad you did. Do it today. So, Chanterria, we are back. So, I have to start by asking a bit about how the Prancing Ponies event concept all came to be, because I've been going to Pebble Beach Car Week, I think I've gone 32 times now. And of course, this summer, I probably will be back there again. And the event that used to head off the week started on Tuesdays, which was the Carmel by the Sea, the car show there. That, of course, ended with the passing of my friend and past guest who started that show. But I remember your show taking place because I always stay in Carmel. I love that community. How did you come about the idea of putting this whole thing together? Because doing a car show, especially on that week, you are one brave lady, I'll tell you.
Yes, I didn't realize bravery was required when I thought of it, but certainly, it was just in alignment with who I am. So when I purchased my car, wherever I go, I seek out community. And I immediately started looking around for other women who were into their cars like I was. And in 2016, I found 6 women who all owned Ferraris, and we created the first all-female Ferrari rally in the world.
I remember hearing about that.
Yes. And we created a community of women, and we really enjoyed being around each other, and we had a lot of fun with each other. And so we went to Car Week in 2016. And there I met at the time, Mayor Steve Dallas of Carmel. And I said, would it be possible if I could reserve a block and just have our cars there so we can spend the day shopping, eating, and drinking? Because that's what women do when we get together. And he said, have you ever thought about a car show? And I said, actually, I have, but I was thinking, it'll take me about 5 years to maybe pull something together. And he goes, no, do it now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And so, again, wanting to just bring together a community of women, car enthusiasts like I was, I said, okay, I'll do it. And in 2017, we had our first car show. So we started with a party the night before because I wanted the women to have an opportunity to meet each other and network and connect. And then we did the car show the following day. And so that's where it all started, was just a desire to meet other women car enthusiasts. Although it's quite popular today, back in 2016, it just wasn't. No one was really talking about women in the, women car enthusiasts, women in automotive or anything like that to the degree it is today, which I'm really grateful for.
Well, absolutely. And I will say I was, because I've had hundreds of women on this show. In fact, if you go to the Cars Yeah website, there's an entire category dedicated to all the women that have been on the show and all aspects of the car community. And you're right, as the years have gone by, more and more women have become a part of this. And I keep finding women that are a part of it, especially in the automotive sector of business. And I wanted to talk about this Prancing Ponies Foundation that you put together to help people, because you and I were put together by a mutual friend, Genevieve, who's been a guest on the show before. And she does a lot of this kind of work to try to help people in her community, having grown up in the Monterey, Carmel area. And what you're doing is really cool, because you put together fundraisers and events to help young women, to show them that, well, I'll let you describe it. Show them they can be a lot more than maybe they think they can be.
Absolutely. I did not grow up knowing that as a woman, I could participate in the car industry in any way. And so as I started thinking about how to give back, because that's a really big part of who I am, I began to think about how can I empower young girls and women to being exposed to things that they would not ever consider as an option for them. I certainly didn't know it would end up in a car show. But, but I definitely, when founding my foundation, I was thinking about this. And so one day, soon after I took receipt of my car, I was driving through San Francisco, and I was at a stoplight, and I was looking at these three girls at the stoplight, at a bus stop, actually. And they were, in high school and playing around, and I was kind of reminiscing. I was like, oh, wow, I remember the days when I had no care in the world.
Yeah. You thought everything was so troubling, but really how simple it was.
Oh, my goodness, right?
Yep.
So, and as I was staring at them, I didn't realize they were staring at me. And one of the young ladies, she said, Miss, I like your car. And I was surprised because I didn't even know girls like cars.
Yeah.
And I looked at them and I said, well, I expect you to get one too.
Oh, nice.
And I can remember their little eyes widening and their heads slowly nodding up and down. And I thought, that's what I got this car for. I'm going to use it to inspire girls. And that's where Prancing Ponies was kind of established from that moment. So now what we do is, at first we had an academy where we took young girls that were in transition from high school to college, and we had a summer academy to teach them resume writing, how to interview, how to set up meetings, how to do presentations. And then COVID hit, of course. Then we had to do a pivot, and now what we do is we fund women and girls to attend conferences that will expand their leadership skills and allow them to better support their families, particularly low-income women. And by doing this, we hope to be able to also raise funds. As a matter of fact, that's my goal for next year, is to raise enough funds to also provide additional scholarships to the Limitless Scholarship Fund, so we can help girls go into vocations like becoming a mechanic or car salesman, or so they can own their dealership one day, or whatever they aspire to in the auto world. So it's really been a fun process of growing our foundation and expanding it so that we can serve more women in our community.
I think it's a spectacular thing you're doing. And the fact that you can use automobiles as the vehicle, excuse the pun, to bring these groups of people together. But what you did that moment with those girls on the bench is you planted a seed in their mind. And you made them, or helped them, I should say made, but helped them realize that they can achieve things that maybe they never even thought they could achieve. And that's the beauty in the inspiration that you're providing for these people. I think it's absolutely spectacular. And back to the car show, your theme this year coming up, Rhinestone Cowgirls. What is that all about?
Well, it's actually, ironically, I decided on this theme the day of my car show afterwards. So we were at the Lynx Club having an after party, after gathering, as I like to call it. There's a gentleman there who is a member of the Rotary, and he was in all-white cowboy outfit with a matching hat and everything, and he looked fabulous. And I looked at him, and his name is Ron, I believe, and I looked at him and I said, you just inspired the theme for next year's car show.
Yeah. Isn't that fun? Well, the great thing about Pebble Beach Car Week is the clothing that you see people wearing, and there's so many unique outfits that people wear. I mean, just to outlandish crazy, to just fun, to very stylish. I think it's great that person and his outfit inspired the concept for the theme. And you have not only the actual day of the car event, but you mentioned you have, and I mentioned in your intro, that you have a mixer the day before. Do you do, or have you done rallies as well?
Yeah. So in 2021, we couldn't do the car show again because it was just, everyone was still kind of reeling from. Yep. Yeah. So I said, well, why don't we do something slightly smaller, but just as fun? And so we did a rally in partnership with our legendary sponsor, Monterey Touring Vehicles. And then we did a rally. We went wine tasting. It's a fabulous time. And then we came back to a really fun fashion show. And so I do plan on bringing more rallies back for women, and hopefully I'll be able to structure it the way that I did previously when we did our Ferrari rallies from San Francisco to Santa Barbara, where we met Oprah. And then we also did a rally from Milan to Monaco as well. So I'm hoping to bring back those two fun rallies and be able to grow that more, because it's just such a fun way to spend time with like-minded, really dynamic, really boss ladies.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I'll put a link to your website, but it's easy to find.
It's Prancing Ponies Women's carshow.com. We now have a new website.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad you said that. I'll make sure that we put a link to that on your show notes page here in the Cars Hour website. And people can go and learn. They can learn about how to donate, how to get involved with your foundation. I think it's absolutely spectacular what you're doing. Everything about it is very, very cool.
Thank you.
You know, and I'd be remiss to mention Doug Friedman again. I referred to him, but Doug Friedman, who's the founder of the Carmel Concours on the Avenue, which used to take place on Tuesdays. Of course, we lost him a few years ago, and that event has gone away now. So I like the fact that your event, in a way, I won't say it replaces his event, because your event is very significant in what it is all about, but the fact that there'll be an event on the Concours there, which is very cool, or on the Avenue there, which is very cool. Beautiful place.
Yeah, and we're really excited, and I'm so grateful to Carmel business owners and residents for supporting us and being so enthusiastic about us coming back each year, because we literally almost double in size every year.
Awesome.
Because the women, as the women find out about it, the women, I want to participate in this. This is going to be so much fun. And so, this year we're looking the upwards of approximately 200 women-owned cars.
Whoa.
Last year we had about 20,000 spectators, so we'll probably have that, if not more. And we have about 25 plus awards we give away, including not just Best in Class, which is the traditional award, but we also have Best in Presentation. And that awards the woman who comes dressed in the time period or the color of her car.
Very nice. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Everything about this is fantastic. You have become, no doubt, a inspirational person. I have a feeling you always have been, but an inspirational person and a mentor in many people's lives. And I wonder if there's somebody, Ben, who has been a mentor like that to you, somebody that's been very inspirational in helping you get to where you are in your life.
Oh, absolutely. So Dr. Harold Campbell, in my undergrad at Cal State Hayward, I think it's Cal State East Bay now, but he absolutely was an inspiration to me. While I was in school, he was working there and getting his PhD. And I can remember asking him, how do you manage? How do you manage a wife and a family and working full time while getting a PhD? I can remember vividly asking him that. And he always said, when you have a really tough project that you're working on, make sure you have a creative project that you work on at the same time. And I have always done that. So for me, setting up Prancing Ponies Foundation was really tough.
Yeah.
And so creating the rally was my creative outlet during that.
Oh, nice.
So every year, we have the foundation, we have scholarships we give away and things of that nature, or grants we give away. But, every year I have this creative outlet called the Car Show now. It's what balances my life because, I work and I have a life. But,
a multi-layered,
my passion.
You have a multi-layered life. Yeah, that's the way, what a brilliant way to think about things. And instead of thinking about how do you overcome all these challenges in your day, is to tie in something that you're passionate about and you love. And what a better thing to do than cars, because they are an escape for people. I mean, a lot of people escape to their garage to play with their cars, work on their cars, restore their cars, or if they're lucky enough to have a career in that world, it becomes a part of their life. So, wow, what a great person to have, Dr. Harold Campbell. Very cool. So let's talk a little bit about a challenge, because challenges can be looked at two ways. And I have a feeling that you, like many guests on the show, look at them as more of a learning lesson than really a challenge in life. Has there been something for you that you've encountered that when you look back now, you think, well, it wasn't that fun to go through, but boy, that taught me a great lesson?
Oh, yeah. Setting up my first car show.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
And it was because I think it was challenging. It was really challenging. It was not easy. And there was just a lot of resistance because it just didn't exist before. And as you know, Car Week, Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance has been around since 1936, I believe.
Long time.
And a long time. And for someone like me to come into Carmel, who really was not a strong member of the community at the time, but to come in and say, hey, I want to disrupt your car show in a way.
Yeah, I want to add another piece of the delicious layer to Car Week here, as if there isn't already enough. Yeah.
And there was a lot of resistance, not unexpectedly. There was quite a bit of resistance, and I think because people just weren't thinking along the lines of a women's car show. Like it was a very foreign concept to them, and many people didn't think it would actually go anywhere because they were like, "Where are you going to find women car owners to come and show their cars?"
Surprise!
And so, surprise, yes. And it's been it's grown organically, but the initial resistance was very, very hard to overcome initially. And now I'm just so grateful and thankful that the community now embraces it. They welcome the women that come in. We obviously spend a lot of money in town that day.
No kidding. Yeah.
Because women love to shop. We love to eat and drink too. So it's a wonderful, it's grown into an integral part of the community. And every year I try to figure out another way in which to ingratiate ourselves to the community by including, businesses and the residents of Carmel into the car show in one way or another. So, and the women love it, and the men love the women coming there.
Of course. Well, when you walk around that car week, and as I said, I've been so many years now. I mean, half the people there are women, and typically it's either because they are women, they're interested in cars, or they've come along with their spouse or significant other or partner, whomever that might be, because it's a fun week. There's a lot more than just the cars, although that's obviously a big part of it, but there's so much more to. That's why that whole experience has become what it's become, because there's so many things to do and so many places to go.
Yeah.
It's all contained together, and you can make a trip out of it. And who doesn't like going to Pebble Beach, Monterey, Carmel? I mean, it's just a beautiful part of the world, but you add cars to the thing, and it's even more special. So I'm sorry you had to face those resistances. However, you've overcome them. I have no doubt you would do that. And now all of a sudden, I had not thought about this aspect. I mean, just when you think there can't be a different kind of car show, when you look at all the different car shows that happened during that week, you came up with something new. So bravo. I think that's great. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit, and I alluded to it, and you've mentioned it a couple times now. I'll call it your special vehicle story, which seems to be the car that started all of this. And I think it starts with an F, and it's called a Ferrari.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, tell us about this ride.
She is a 2015 458 Spider.
Nice.
And I designed her myself. She's all titanium exterior, and she's all chocolate suede, or as they say, Alcantara suede in the inside. And I put carbon fiber everywhere that I could.
Gee, you're not a car gal at all, are you?
No, not at all. And then I have yellow calipers because I wanted to honor the original Ferrari color, because at the time that I designed my car, it was very different. The dealership was reminding me every single time I went in to change a detail. They're like, this is a very different car.
Yeah, well, it's mine. I'll do what I want.
Exactly. So, but now she's very well known because she was actually on one of the final ships to come from Italy to the U.S. delivering 458s, and then they
really
flipped the factory and started making 488s. Yeah.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, sure. A major change in models.
Yeah.
Very cool. Does she have a name?
Her name is Coco.
I love it. As in Coco Chanel.
As in Coco Chanel and the color Coco chocolate.
I love it. Well, it's very cool. You'll see a picture of this wonderful Coco with Chanterria on her show notes page on the Car Show website. So check it out there. Very nice. So I'm going to crawl in your head a little bit here. I love to do this with guests, be a car psychologist. If you were reincarnated or manifest or womanfest, I guess I could say, as a vehicle, what would you be? But more importantly, why?
What would I be as in a car? Which car?
And this isn't what you want to be. You have to dig a little deeper for me. Kind of the psychologist couch here, and look in the mirror. And how do you perceive yourself as a woman in the car world? And if that is a kind of car, what kind of car is it?
Oh, I know exactly what car that would be. It would be either a 1955, 1956. Porsche Speedster.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You've hit my heartstrings here a little bit, because one of my favorite cars I always wished I had. Should have bought them back when they were not unobtainium like they are today. Now, why a little Porsche Speedster so different than a Ferrari?
I know. I have to say, I was actually on a Ferrari rally.
Cool.
And we stopped by one of the museums, and this car was there. And it's there's not a whole lot of cars that move me, but this one, I don't know why when I saw it, I felt spiritually connected to the car. Like
Yeah.
I could literally see me driving with my little scarf on my head wrapped around my neck with it flowing behind me.
Yeah.
And, in my, 1950s beautiful dress. And I thought, this is it. This is like, this is the car. And so it's always been, I always felt like it fit my personality, the personality that everyone doesn't get to see often because I'm in business mode a lot. And it's just, for me, it's a very feminine car and I feel very feminine in it. So yeah, that's a really fun car. I would definitely be that car.
I understand. I know a lot of listeners understand that when you see a vehicle that just strikes a chord with you, it just becomes like, that's me. There's something about it. And sometimes you can identify it and other times it's just a feeling. It's just a look. But yeah, those cars, I've wanted one forever. They've just become so expensive. I mean, yeah, they're nosebleed territory now as far as collectible type cars, but they sure are fun. How about a great book that you'd like to share?
Oh, I'm an avid reader. I always have been, even when I was a child. And that's so interesting you would ask me this question because I literally just recommended this book to a very dear friend of mine because I read it probably twice a year. It's called When Things Fall Apart. A wonderful book. Yeah. And it's just every time I read it or I listen to it on Audible, I literally just, it feels like my life is elevated and it gets me out of whatever moment I'm in. And it says, okay, it just reminds me that there's just so much more in life. And I recommend anyone to read that, especially during this time where it seems like a lot of people are going through transitions or transformations or shifts in their lives. I think it's a wonderful book.
It really is. It's awesome. It's been recommended before. And what I like about it, as you said, it's one of those books you could read over and over and keep getting some wisdom from. And then, well, the greatest thing is what you've done is share it with other people. Very nice book. Thanks for adding that to the library here on Cars. Yeah. I'm a bit of an enabler, kind of like you in a way. You enable young women to become more and give them opportunities and help them see things that maybe they didn't see before. Today, I'm going to enable you to go on what I call the ultimate drive. I'm going to park any vehicle that you may wish to have. If you want that speedster, I'll park it in your driveway. You can take it for a drive, but here's the key part. Since cars are so much about the people, more so about the people than the cars, you can take anybody with you, including somebody from the past that's no longer with us, which opens up the world of opportunities of just interesting discussions. So what's the car going to be and who are you going to be with and where are you going to be going?
I would definitely be in my Ferrari. There is just no better car to drive. It's just, I can't think of any other car I'd rather drive on any interesting road other than my Ferrari. And I would absolutely be on the Davos to Stelvio pass.
Oh, nice.
And I would absolutely be on that path. That is my dream drive. And I would be with my dad. And I would love to be listening to him tell me about his stories of travel when he was serving in the U.S. Army. He lived in Germany for a while, and I've always just loved the stories he told. So if he was still here, I would love to have him in the car with me and him sharing his memories from being abroad and traveling throughout Europe and in the Army. And that would be a wonderful day. That really would be.
Wouldn't it be? That's very cool. Well, my thanks for his service and for you and your whole family, because my father was in the Army for a short time, but my wife's father was in the Marine Corps for 33 years. And so we know the challenges that families go through and what they endure in many cases, sometimes really fun things, sometimes difficult things when there's a family member in the service. So my hat's off to your father for his service to this country.
Thank you.
That would be fun. You've taken us on a really fun ride today, and I'm so glad that we got put together today. Again, Genevieve, thank you for putting us back together. And if you listeners missed my talk with Genevieve, another tremendous young lady, check her out on the Cars Yeah website. Could you leave us with some parting words of wisdom or inspiration before I let you go today?
Yeah, I'm a strong believer that just reminding everyone, male, female, dog, cat, it doesn't matter, that every last one of us was put on this planet with a gift. And no matter how quirky or eccentric or out there left field, out there in left field, you may feel that gift is, the world is waiting for you.
Nice. And share that gift with others. Even more important.
Absolutely.
No matter how
the
quirky
world
it
is
might
waiting
be.
for you to share. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Here I am, a young lady at the time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do a car show.
Yeah, that sounds easy.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
But it was my gift.
Yes.
It's my gift.
And continues to be to this day. Yeah. Along with what you're doing there at Prancing Ponies to help other young women, and not so necessarily all young women, but women be more than they can be. So I think it's fantastic. Yeah. Again, we'll put a link to the website. Are there some other ways that people can learn about you?
Absolutely. We have a YouTube channel that's always really fun. It's called Prancing TV. All of our videos are there from previous car shows and our fashion shows. So if you're curious about what a women's car show looks like and feels like, that's a really fun place to go. And of course, our prancingponies.org, where you'll find out all the information about our nonprofit, and of course our Prancing Ponies social media on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. And we're everywhere.
You are everywhere. Yeah, absolutely. Well, this has been so much fun. And listeners, again, you can find links to all of these things on Chanterria's Cars Yeah website's page. She's the only Chanterria on the page, so she'll be very easy to find, along with Genevieve. I was joking with Chanterria today that she and Genevieve, who I connected through, both have 7 syllables on their names, so they're part of the 7-syllable club, which is very cool, very unique. Chanterria, I want to thank you for being so generous today with your time and sharing what you're doing for other people. It's just so inspiring. Until you and I talk again, I'll see you this summer, Prancing Ponies Car Show in Carmel by the Sea.
We are so excited you'll be joining us. I can't wait to see you.
All right. You take care. For several years now, you've heard me talk about Linkage Magazine. I've been a subscriber since the start. Their talented and creative team brings you a spectacular publication and website that shares the automotive passion from a worldwide perspective. Linkage is about driving, restoring, collecting, and first-hand experience at collector car auctions and more. They bring you real-world values plus rational, experienced opinions on the current markets. They cover the automotive world and the people who share our passions. And Linkage Magazine has grown, mailing you 6 issues annually. Join me on this journey with Linkage. They're geared for the automotive life. You can subscribe at linkagemag.com. Did you know that less than 3% of all automotive technicians in the United States are women? You may not be surprised, but you should be concerned because our country is facing a massive technician shortage right now. Skilled, qualified techs are in high demand, and we need young women and men to consider these careers as a viable path to a fulfilling life. I've interviewed hundreds of women in the automotive sector here on Cars Yeah, and I know that women make great techs. That's why I support the nonprofit TechForce Foundation and its Women Techs Rock initiative to ensure women see themselves in the profession, the industry, and the workforce. Learn more at techforce.org today.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.